My dear brothers and sisters in Christ, we continue singing Alleluia. No response, okay. Jesus is risen, and today, the Sunday within the octave of Easter, is still Easter Sunday. And Pope John Paul II instituted this second Sunday, Holy Sunday, appropriate for the victory of Jesus over evil. Death is really the triumph of mercy, the mercy of God. I don't know if it is proper to say it, but the mercy of God is stubborn. It is persistent. God will not give up on being merciful. If there is any stubbornness on the part of God, the gentle God, the stubbornness is found in His mercy. He will not give up. Let us start our reflection on the Gospel with that first part where on the evening of the first day of the week, which was the day after the Passover, the disciples were gathered in one room. They locked the doors because of fear of the Jews. We know how fear makes us lock ourselves up. But Jesus stood in their midst, the risen one. But the risen one still brought into His glorious body, in His glorious state, the wounds of His crucifixion. Hindi po binabaliwala, hindi po binubura ni Kristo muling nabuhay ang mga sugat na dala-dala ng katawan ng tao. The resurrection is so powerful, it can tolerate and it can assume, and it must assume, the woundedness of the world. The resurrection is not a stopgap where everything is erased. No. Even the wounds are maintained and assumed and given new meaning and new purpose. We know that the wounds of Jesus are bearers of memories of humiliation. How Jesus suffered. The sinless one must have suffered tremendously the sin of the world. If we sinners get wounded, we who know sin, we who wound other people, we still get wounded. When others insult us, when others misunderstand us, we get wounded. We who are experts in wounding others, imagine the sinless one. How much more he would be wounded. But He, in His risen state, gave the wounded memories, a new meaning. From those wounds, He said, peace, shalom, peace which is the fullness of blessing. How can you give the apex, the complete blessing to people who have hurt you? This is not possible on a purely human, earthly existence. it is possible only in the risen, glorious state. To be able to say to those who have betrayed you, to those who have denied you, those who have abandoned you, you show your wounds instead of saying, remember this? Huh? Hindi na kayo nahiya. Naalaala niyo ito? Hoy, Pedro, tumingin ka sa akin. Huwag kang tutungo-tungo riyan. That's the way of the world. That's the way of the wounded world. We go to those who have offended us, we show our wounds in order to impress on them how bad they are. And we call it justice. But no, it is not justice. It is revenge that we want. But that's on the human level, the worldly level. The risen one transformed the wounds and says, may all the blessings be with you. And the apex of the blessing, the Holy Spirit, that will recreate you. Aha, that's mercy. The mercy of the risen Lord is not about vindictiveness. It is accepting the wounds. It is accepting that we have hurt each other. But then it also says, the best way, the best approach is, let us look for a new relationship. Let us look for a new way of being a community. Let us look for a better way of being a people. Mercy brings hope. And in the first reading, we see that if we believe in the risen Lord, a new community will be born. In the first reading from the Acts of the Apostles, they listened to the teachings of the apostles, they saw the wonders, and they sold what they had and gave to the poor. A new social order, more merciful, more just, more equitable. There was no needy person among them. And the root was they believed. They believed in the risen one. That's why St. John in the second reading could say, it is the one who believes in the Lord that is the victor. What gives victory to a world of injustice, of brutality and vengeance? It is faith. If you truly believe that Jesus is risen and that in his resurrection there is an offer of new life, then hopefully even the hardened sinner would participate in new life, in this new social order. It's not hatred, it's not vindictiveness that should be the victor. It is faith that transforms individuals and society into loving, merciful people that will create a new world. Sana po itong panahon ng pandemic, no, ang dami-dami nang may sakit, ang dami-dami nang may problema. Sana po ipakita natin na ang muling pagkabuhay ng Panginoon ay ang tagumpay ng habag. At yung habag na magpapabago sa tao at sa lipunan. Kung paanong nabago ang mga apostoles, Hindi sila sinisi, hindi sila dinuro-duro, hindi na sila sinisi, hindi sila niyapak-yapakan ni Jesus, kahit parang napakasarap gawin yun. Ha? Nabago sila. Palagay ko, kung si Kristo muling nabuhay, pinagsisisigawan sina Pedro at lahat yun, wala. Back to the old story. They would not have been transformed into witnesses. This is the power of the resurrection. Sana po, kung meron kayong mga hindi pa napapatawad, kung merong mga sugat na lagi na lang kinakalkal at pinadudugo, at lagi na lang sumasakit, no? Yun din nangyari 70 years ago. Pero maya't maya, laging binubuhay yung sugat. At habang binubuhay yung sugat, binubuhay yung galit, kahit na yung kinagagalitan mo ay pumanaw na 50 years ago. Kaya walang bagong tao. Kaya ba walang bagong lipunan? Kasi ang nagtatagumpay ay laging ang paniniil. Tayo'y naligtas ng hindi malirip, na hindi masukat na habag ng Diyos. And finally, I ask myself, why was Thomas not with the others on that first day of the week? Where was he? Was he shopping? Was he working already? Or was he not afraid like the others? The others were in the room out of fear of the Jews. Maybe Thomas was not afraid. He did not need to stay in that room. So he was freely walking. I don't know. If somebody knows the answer, please share with us. Where was Thomas? Why was he absent on that first day of the week? But look, when he said, unless I see the mark of the nails in his hands, well, I would not just say that this is unbelief. No, if Thomas would become a witness of the resurrection, then I think it's just legitimate that he must see. He must see. For a witness is someone who has seen and heard. And look at the mercy of Jesus. A week later, meaning today, the Lord did a supreme act of mercy. He came back. And I want to think he came back for Thomas. Thomas will be a witness. And Thomas declared, "My Lord and my God." Most of us are Thomases, always absent. Absent for many things, except for meals. But that's important. For the reason Lord also manifests himself during meals. But let us not, we are all Thomases. We can be absent at significant moments when the Lord comes. But the Lord is merciful. He will come back just for you. And hopefully you will see with the eyes of faith. And after seeing, and we who are not part of the 11, we see through the witnesses. We see through the testimony of the apostles. We cannot repeat their experience, but we see through them, through the account of Peter, through the account of Paul, through the account of John, and through the account of Thomas. When we were little children, part of the catechesis was during consecration, when the host is raised, the body of Christ, you should say, "My Lord and my God." And when the cup is raised, you also say, "My Lord and my God." We are all Thomases and Tomasas. Absent but sought by the Lord in order to become a witness. And with all the powers of our minds and our hearts, even in our wounds and through our wounds, we say, "My Lord and my God."